Good morning, folks. It's Duncan here at Freezing Eagle on another beautiful day up here in Vermont. We just got back from a little brief vacation yesterday from being up in New Hampshire where it was nice. Though the beautiful lake had cyanobacteria and I got a little bit of an attack from that. I got in there and felt pretty messed up from that. So if you run into it anywhere, take warning. It's not good. It kind of comes, it hits fast and it goes away fairly fast, but it's quite miserable when it's in your system. Anyway, we'll go to a more positive subject. Today is a nice day, so I got up and came up to the A-frame, and I wanted to just catch you up on where I'm at now. And my brother Al and I did a lot last week before I took off, and we were working on the dormer, so I'll give you a little bit of a view of that, where it's at right now. We finished some pretty tricky framing to get that dormer tied into the main roof. It's a 2-story dormer, so it's pretty big. I'm kind of aiming at the sun right now, so I'll try to not make this super glary, but as you can see, the dormer comes off the main house on the right side. So that's actually the upstairs bedroom, the large section. You see the lower section, it just starts on the first floor and it bumps it out a little bit and it leaves room for a couple of windows and some light to come in. You get up on the second floor, and now the dormer is quite big, and its ridge ties into the main ridge, so it's actually quite impressive. It sticks about 12 feet out, plus some overhang, so a little over 13 feet. I'm going to get over here where I'm not in the glare. So anyway, we framed that in. That was some tricky figuring on the rafters to tie them in to the main rafters. They had to come in at a squirrely angle, kind of similar to we did on the big overhang end. There was quite a bit of figuring and trial and error before we had those angles just right, but we got them. Looking inside the building, you see some staging up in there which kind of obscures the dormer, but you do see 2 valley rafters that come down at an angle from the upper point of the ridge where it ties into the main ridge and then lands into the rafters that are on either side of the dormer. Those are compound angles and take a little bit of figuring, and then once those are in place, then we had some slightly easier ones to link to fill in the space, keeping a 24-inch on center layout, which means a fewer rafters, but since they're so large, they're 2x10s on the dormer, and with the 5/8 plywood there's plenty of strength there. So that was our big project. That took several pretty difficult days to get that figured out and done, but that's a main thing to get done. So now that that's done, I'm working today. I just came up here. It's just me today, and I am working on blocking. So you can see on this near gable end, I've run some blocking up this outer rafter. So to build out an overhang, in many cases, especially in the case of a gable or a dormer like this, you've got to run blocking to carry an outer fly rafter on the outside. You can see I got a lot of pieces to install up there, which I've got a stage for. These ones I've just done off a ladder. And then if we look down here, you'll see I'm covered with sawdust from working the table saw, but I did mill out smaller blocking for the dormer overhang and then enough to finish the main overhang here. So my goal right now is to get this place ready for roofing, which means all the blocking and framing's got to be done, and then the plywood on top of that, and then whatever the deck armor covering. It's sort of like tar paper, which is an obsolete product really. It's kind of flimsy, but these new products are amazing. They're breathable and almost rip proof, so they're much more rugged. I just installed all of the ice and water shield and this ripstop material with nothing but a staple gun and 3-inch staples. It was sufficient to hold it on there quite well and very difficult to tear off. So you can see it. I'm out on the outside of the dormer now. I'm going to get where the sun's behind me and I'm not glaring out you or my camera, but anyhow, so you can see the deck armor, and then looking up here you see the dormer. That's much better lighting. So you see the pairs of rafters going up, then you see the ridge sticking out about, I think that's about 15 3/4 inches. So blocking will run down that outer rafter to carry a outer fly rafter that will then have plywood over it. And so we're getting closer to getting the roof on. That's sort of the main objective, even though it's beautiful and has been beautiful lately. Winter's kind of hiding around the corner. In fact, the other day I heard a chickadee, and to me that's one of the signs when I start seeing blue jays and chickadees up here and I hear them, then that, in fact I hear one now. That's really funny. It's out in the woods. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm hearing it now. It's mocking me because that indicates that won't be that long we'll be having some snow flying, which I love snow, but I do want to have this closed in before I see any of it. So anyway, here looking at the front of the dormer, you've got the downstairs section, and there's 2 openings there that will have windows in them. Then we go upstairs, we'll have windows above them, and then up in the peak, I want to have a little triangle window. So there's going to be an open ceiling in the second floor bedroom. It's going to be quite big, and that's kind of what makes this bedroom really cool. Upstairs, there will be a bathroom on the opposite side, so this dormer provides some room for the bed and other things as the dormer itself, as it closes in and as a big triangle, you start having less space upstairs to work with. So anyway, that's a quick catch up, and I will be putting more time in on this week. You know, we got some visitors coming from Australia toward the weekend, so we've got to go do some sprucing up of the main, our regular house, which is going to pull me away from this. So I'm sneaking up here early in the morning to try and get done what I can, and we will carry on with the project. I'll keep you up to date. Thanks. Have a good day.